In this video, we're going to take a look at how we can manipulate text using Excel. Okay, so we've got 4 main functions I'm going to teach you in this video. So first things first, we've got left, right, mid, and concatenate. So I'm going to start off with left. So the Excel left function returns a specific number of characters or numbers from the start of the cell. So for example, I want to get the first letter, I can do equals left, brackets, which cell, so this one with Brendan in, and how many characters from the left. So if I just want the first letter, I just want 1 character, and that will return B. Now if I wanted to say a few more, maybe bread, I could change that to a 4, but we'll go back to what it should be and leave that as a 1. Next function is the right function, which does exactly the same thing but from the right. So I can do equals right, text, and 1, and you can see that gets me the last one. So I can use left, and I can use right, just like that. The next function I'm going to show you is the mid function. So the Excel mid function returns a specific number of characters or numbers from the middle of the supplied cell. So the formula to write this function is equals mid, the cell you want, the starting position, and the number of characters. Okay, so if I wanted to get the city code, I could do equals mid. I'm going to start from the third, so I'm going to click here, I want the third, and I want 2 of them. So you see that's got me the city code, which is AL, because I've gone 1, 2, 3 cells in, characters in rather, and I want the third one and the fourth one, so I need to choose 2. So going back to this first one, we've got the country code is the first 2 letters of the stadium code. So I can do equals left, like that. So I've got EGAL, and then the capacity is the last 5 numbers. So I could use right for that one. So equals right, that one, and I want the last 5. Now the next function I'm going to show you is concatenate. Now what that does is that adds however many cells you want or piece of text you want into one big string. So for example, I can go equals concatenate, and then you can just choose, so I want to put that together, and that together, and you see it rebuilt that stadium code. Now another way I might want to use concatenate is I might want to create a string that I might use for something. So you see on this one I've got my name there. So I can do equals concatenate, so I can double click that. I want Reese. Then what I might want to do is I might want to put a space in there. So just do a space like that. Click the last cell, and you see it says Reese Grow with a space. Now I find this really useful, especially if you say was trying to generate an email address. So this employee ID, for example, that could be that you just add in the full name and the number, but in this case we're using the first 2 letters of the surname and the last letter of the reg number to create an employee ID. Now we can do that quite easily, so we can do equals concatenate, and now I'm going to use left to get the first 2 letters of first name and surname. So I can go left, brackets, like that. So that's my first piece of text. Now my second piece of text is going to be right, which is the first 2. Make sure that's right. So I want the first 2 again. So, and then my last piece of text is the last 2 numbers of the reg number. So I can do, oh sorry, that should be left, and this one should be right like that. and that is my employee ID. Now, what quite often happens, especially when I'm doing something that generates like email addresses, is you can use equals concatenate, do that, and then you might do something like you see that creates an email address. I've also used it in the past to create hyperlinks, so it could be that these are students and I wanted to link this upwards up their home drive so I could mark their work. I could create a hyperlink using equals hyperlink with concatenate to get to a file path that gets to their documents and make my life a little bit quicker and easier. So just recapping, we've got equals concatenate, just like here, so equals concatenate where you put in each of your pieces of text. Now there is a limit, you can't write a full 1,000-word essay. I think the limit is around 250 characters, I think. So if it's too long, it won't work, and you have to do multiple. Then you've got left and you've got right, and then going back to the earlier one, you've also got mid as well. So, and that's it really. So that is how you manipulate strings, numbers, cells to create text in Excel. Hopefully that was really helpful, and you can use that in your revision and your practice for your exams, or in general if you just learn how to use Excel.